Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power.
But today, we explore the path of the last decision a shogun makes alone. You keep waiting for pressure to make your decisions for you. You call hesitation patience because the truth feels less flattering. The meeting passes, the boundary collapses, and the opportunity quietly closes. You remain busy enough to avoid admitting you chose nothing. But indecision is still a decision, only made by circumstance. That is the first paradox. The person avoiding responsibility is already surrendering control. And one question will follow us until the end. Why would a ruler give away the title he fought to secure? Tokugawa Ieyasu knew what unstable power looked like. He had survived a century shaped by fractured loyalties and war. Victory at Sekigahara in 1600 made him Japan's dominant military lord. In 1603, the imperial court appointed him shogun. Most modern people would grip that title until death. They confused possession with security. Ieyasu did something more disciplined. In 1605, he transferred the shogunal office to his son Hidetada. Yet he did not simply disappear into retirement. From Sunpu, Ieyasu continued exercising immense political influence. The title moved before the founder died. That distinction matters. A fragile leader makes himself indispensable. A strategic leader makes continuity possible without his physical presence. The corporate ghost does the opposite. He answers every request, fixes every emergency, and trains nobody. Then he calls exhaustion loyalty. His identity depends on being needed, so his absence becomes a crisis. Ieyasu's example attacks that vanity. Power that dies with you was never fully organized. Decide before crisis. Sunpu was quieter than the battlefields that made his name. Imagine cedar air entering rooms built for political calculation. Messengers carried decisions between Sunpu, Edo, Kyoto, and great domains. The old warrior's battlefield had changed. Now, the weapon was structure. This is where modern weakness becomes obvious. The fragile pleaser refuses the uncomfortable conversation today. He hopes resentment will somehow negotiate tomorrow. The intellectual glutton studies leadership without assigning responsibility. He consumes another book and avoids one decisive delegation. Knowledge becomes a decorated hiding place. The lesson is to stop outsourcing necessary decisions to time. Name the responsibility. Name the successor. Name the boundary. Name what happens if you're gone tomorrow. Build the system. Then history tightened around Osaka. Toyotomi Hideyori remained a powerful focus for opposition to Tokugawa rule. The Osaka campaigns erupted across the winter of 1614 and summer of 1615. The conflict ended with the destruction of the Toyotomi stronghold. After Osaka, organized resistance had lost its greatest center. This is where many viewers misunderstand the story. They think Ieyasu's final lesson is simply ruthless elimination. That interpretation is too shallow. The deeper threat was unfinished transition. A new order cannot stabilize while everyone expects the old order's return. Your life works the same way. You say you want discipline while preserving every escape route. You promise the gym, then protect the habits that keep you weak. You promise a new career, then worship the comfort of the hated paycheck. You demand respect, then reward every violation of your boundaries. You are not trapped between two futures. You are financing both of them. Divided loyalty keeps the weaker identity alive. Remove the exit. In 1615, Tokugawa authority was reinforced through regulations for warrior houses. Hidetada formally promulgated those rules during Ieyasu's final political season. The system increasingly depended on rules, obligations, and controlled succession. That is less romantic than a duel. It is also more durable. The mediocre person dreams about one heroic moment. He wants motivation loud enough to permanently change him. But durable power rarely looks heroic every morning. It looks like procedures followed when nobody is inspired. It looks like standards surviving bad moods. It looks like responsibilities assigned before confusion arrives. It looks like saying no without writing an apology afterward. It looks like training when the room is empty. It looks like finishing what excitement abandoned. Make it durable. Ieyasu died at Sunpu in 1616. We should not pretend to know his undocumented private final thoughts. History does not preserve every silence inside a dying ruler, but it does preserve what remained after him. Hidetada already held the shogunal office. The Tokugawa order did not depend on one final battlefield appearance. The founder had lived long enough to see succession operating. That brings us back to the question: why surrender the title after fighting so hard for authority? Because the strongest interpretation of his final years is not surrender. It is transition made visible before death could force it. The office moved while the founder could still influence the handover. The future was tested before it became unavoidable. That is the decision you keep postponing, not whether you want a better life. You have answered that question 1,000 times. The real decision is what must end so that future can exist. Which comfort loses its vote? Which obligation gets delegated? Which boundary becomes non-negotiable? Which version of you stops receiving emergency extensions? A shogun can command armies and still face one private frontier. He must decide what continues when he no longer stands there. So must you. Do not wait for collapse to choose your successor habits. Do not wait for humiliation to establish your boundaries. Do not wait for exhaustion to redesign your work. Make the future obey a decision made while you are strong. Leave it standing.
Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power. Which one are you? Comment below.